Hey guys, welcome to our Arrowverse Weekly Recap. We have Superman and Lois, we have Naomi, we have Legends of Tomorrow, and Batwoman to talk about this week. And if you have not been checking out my community tab, you will know that I did state that this was the last season of Batwoman that I would be reviewing because, guys, I just can't do that to myself anymore. So I will review this week's episode and the season finale, and then I'm not going to include it in my Arrowverse anything anymore. I just can't. It's just the writing is too bad for me, and it's just too stupid, so I can't do it anymore. But you'll get my opinion on that when we get to talking about Batwoman. But first, we need to start with Superman and Lois, season 12, episode 12. Pretty good episode. It's actually it revolves around two things. Well, technically three. So Lois's villain, Allie, Bizarro and Superman, and of course it is Sarah's quinceanera. So all of this is happening simultaneously. If you hear like a little rattling, that is my dog. He is the reason we started a little late. He's in here with me losing his little mind because he doesn't like it when mommy works on anything. So that's what this is his way of rebelling. So I apologize. You probably will be hearing his little collar a lot. Lay down. Lay down. Go lay down. He's like, yeah, I'd just rather get under the table, mommy. Anyway, all right, let's start about Superman and Lois. So basically, Chrissy last week met Allie. Allie Alliston. Now, if you know anything about Alston, sorry. If you know anything about the name Allie Alston, and I actually had to look her up because even though I know a lot of comic book characters, I could not place this one. So I was surprised when I realized this was actually a version of Parasite. She's Purple Parasite in the comics. Now, I don't think that is what's going on in this series. As a matter of fact, they keep stressing, this crossing the multiverse, meeting Bizarros, and, this strange purple amulet, which, purple, I'm thinking Purple Parasite. But I also got like Amulet of Anubis vibes. Like, is she like Dr. Fate's daughter? Because basically she's carrying on her father's work. And in the comics, there have been many incarnations of Dr. Fate. So I don't know. I thought maybe this could be like an alternate reality post-crisis version of Dr. Fate, where Dr. Fate basically was a little nuts and I don't want to do all of these things. And I don't know. I just feel like it's a mystery. What we do know is, and the reason I'm even brought up the Amulet of Anubis is that when Chrissy goes to interview her to get the real story, she drugs her. She drugs her tea, and Chrissy has this, basically this dimension shifting, experience where she sees a Bizarro version of herself. And if you remember, the amulet has a pocket dimension in it. So I'm like, are they really traveling to another dimension, or is it the amulet that has a pocket dimension? I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool. I don't think they would make Kandor, an amulet. But the fact that she is taking over this dimension or this world where Bizarro, we learn, is from and actually is there to kill her. That's the whole premise of that. He's there to try and kill Allie because she is going to start a war and destroy both of their worlds. I just thought that was really interesting that this amulet, this mysterious purple amulet that I cannot place any other. I keep thinking about different people like Madame, Xanadu, all these different people that have relics or some kind of like amulets or jewelry, but the only amulet that stands out to me is Dr. Fate's for some reason. So I'm just throwing that out. I don't know who the heck she's supposed to be. I know, again, she is Purple Parasite, or her name is in the comics. Alexandra Alston is Purple Parasite in DC Comics. I have no idea who the heck she's supposed to be in Arrowverse because they reinvent everything. So just threw out my theory. But anyway. So we do know that Lucy was not lying. She was crossing over, but it almost killed her. And honestly, when Chrissy was on the ground in this episode, the guy that was with Allie was like, she's not coming too. She's not waking up, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, everybody has their own pace and their own journey. I'm like, yeah, and she probably could die, just minor little fact there. So, that was a thing. So yeah, I was in my feelings a little bit about the fact that I could not place who the heck this was. It was driving me absolutely crazy. All right. So we have the whole thing with Allie going on. We have Bizarro goes and kills Dr. Faulkner. And remember, Dr. Faulkner has been in communication with somebody and was, basically trying to free Bizarro. Like, she knew who Bizarro was or what was down there, like all of that. And so he killed her, which makes me think that she's probably working with Allie, or was working with Allie. And that's why, because he seems to be taking out things associated with her. But then I don't know. They're also contracted by the government. So it could be the DOD. It could be anything. I think they even had canisters that said property of DOD down when Superman actually ends up facing off the first time in a cave. Basically, I think it's the mines they were in actually when they first found him. So I think that, Dr. Faulkner being killed, I think all of this stuff is connected. So everything's connected, which makes sense. They wouldn't give Lois Lane her own little story without it being connected to Superman's story. I mean, they should, but they won't. So, all of this is all together. I will say the first and second fight scenes between them were pretty. I think that's where most of the budget went. Most of the budget went to these two things because those are pretty intense fights. I was pretty happy about that. The Lieutenant Anderson thing, I mean, it does play correctly because if you remember in the comics, he was a huge Superman fanboy. He had posters of him and everything. He was pretty much how they portray Naomi to be. He was a huge, huge Superman nerd. And he had met his hero and he's like now fallen, like his opinion's fallen because he's not who he thinks he is. He wants him to be pro-patriot, pro-America. And, he's, Superman's pretty much, I'm not going to worry about your shit. I'm just going to save people. I'm not about these politics. And it rubs him the wrong way, which is why Lieutenant Anderson started the Superman in the comics. Same here. So it translates well. And Clark had the idea to find the amulet or the pendant. Once again, another pendant that one of the super kids who's in the hospital found. I forgot his name, the speedster. His name went out of my mind for some reason. Went to school with Jonathan and Jordan and Sarah. And then was taken to the special academy. But he ended up giving the pendant to Lieutenant Anderson and he refused to give it to Clark because of course he can't give it to Clark because he's being a dick. So, that's what it is. That's his role. He is a dick. He's the dick of the show. So yeah, I just think it's interesting that Clark can't get help from the DOD anymore. He can't find Bizarro on his own. Still in the hospital. John Henry he's out of ICU. They kind of brushed over, but he's out of ICU, but he's still not woken up and he's not, it is what it is. Of course, Nat's there too, so she wasn't in this episode. I feel like that part of the episode was basically more us learning more about why Bizarro is there. And we know Bizarro is there to kill Allie. And it's funny that Clark is able to beat him twice and he takes him to his mama and Laura. And Laura is the one researching him. And I think that's funny. I'm going to beat your ass and take you to my mom. I mean, that's so Superman does. I mean, absolutely. But whatever. I'm looking at your comments. Thank you. His name is Tag. Thank you. That was his name, Tag. All right. So let me set that aside for a second. Then we got the other stuff going on where we learned that Kyle's alcoholic nature also was part cheating, where he cheated with the bartender, and was basically saying he was going to leave his wife and family for her. And obviously that did not happen. And then he went back to the bar because he was in his feelings and, basically wanted to, not to drink, but to get her to help with Lana's campaign. And, she told her girlfriend and her girlfriend basically she sold the information to let's just call it what it is. He's a jackass, the jackass current mayor who's running for re-election against Lana. So he can blackmail them with it because that's what you do. Or better yet, use it to tarnish Lana's family's image. So all of this got revealed during Sarah's quinceañera. Between, all their family or friends are there. She's got Jordan as her date, obviously, right before the father-daughter dance, they're outside hanging out. The chick shows up and then she overhears the conversation. And so Sarah, in the middle of the father-daughter dance, starts having a panic attack, which is so traumatizing because this is supposed to be like, if you are Latina or Hispanic, this is like a big part of your culture. You're turning 15, you're considering an adult. This is a big thing that you plan for. And, she rehearsed how to dance and studied everything. And like a lot of other stuff in her life, especially because of her dad, he effed it up. And I mean, I feel so bad for her in that regard. Yes, she did kiss a girl at camp and kind of blowed her off. And I don't like the way they portray cheating on this show or in the Arrowverse, because what they do, or actually the CW, if I'm really thinking about it, if you were like a main or supporting character to the main, for some reason you get a pass a lot of the time. If you cheat, it's like, oh, you just kissed this person. Oh, you just slept with this person. Blah, blah, blah. It's completely okay. And in this series, I think it was episode 2 or 3, where Jordan ended up giving her, I think it was a necklace or something from that he got, from a family heirloom, and gave to her and said, I love you, and apologized to her for, kind of basically giving her the silent treatment. And I'm like, but she literally effing kissed somebody else at camp. I mean, she did that. That was not make-believe. So she comes by it honest, is what I'm saying, because she gets it from her daddy. So when she was like, how could you do this, Dad? I'm like, same way you did to Jordan. No, if you didn't sleep with the girl, but I mean, just saying. Just throwing it in there. But for me, I think it's interesting that Kyle, he knows he has his skeletons in the closet, and he was the one telling his wife to run against the mayor. I'm like, you got shit to hide. So yeah, that whole situation, that whole quinceanera situation was so tense, and the mayor-elect Lana invited, which I don't understand. And on top of that, not only did she invite him, he showed up and then he gave Kyle the look like, I know your dirty business. And so yeah, all of that's just messed up. And I love how Lana handled it, though. She told her daughter, we're all here to celebrate you. We'll basically deal with this shit later. It's like, we will deal with this, but we're here to celebrate you. And she did this really beautiful speech, which I thought was amazing. It is a very motherly thing to do. So I'm very happy that she was able to put aside her, I'm about to castrate this man I'm married to mode for the sake of her child. Now, I would not want to be Kyle when they got home. I'm just putting it out there. I would not want to be. But it's a thing. And then the third thing that happened is, so Jonathan is haul ass turning into Brightburn. I thought it was going to be Jordan in season 1, that he was going to like just lose his shit. But, and again, I do not support drugs, but I understand where Jonathan is coming from, because his brother got powers and everyone keeps calling him special and talented and training him and wanting him, he's basically what Jonathan's supposed to be, Superboy Prime. And like, even down to their grandfather I thought was going to be cool, because, he pulls up and Jordan hadn't told Jonathan that they were going to go train. And so Jonathan's like, okay, cool, we'll have fun. And then of course the grandfather's like, hey, you come with us, you can help us with his baseline. And then, of course, Jonathan's getting a little competitive. One, because he's hyped up on the Kryptonite X modified drug. And also because his father keeps saying, oh, Jordan, you're special, and everyone needs to know how special you are, in front of the other effing twin. I'm like, what is wrong with you? But we both know that, or all of us here know, that Sam Lane is not the father of the year. You see how he treats his daughters. He treats Lucy like she can do no wrong, even though she's an addict and her life is a mess. And then Lois, he treats like crap. And I'm like, that's pretty bad. So, I mean, if you really think about it, this is completely normal. But Jonathan was in his feelings, got very, very competitive with Jordan, and knocked Jordan's ass down, and basically said, I'm better than you. And that was literally his mode to his twin. And poor Jordan's like, what did I do? What the hell did I do wrong? And Jordan literally did not want to show off. When they were doing push-ups, he didn't try to outdo him. He didn't want to spar with him. It was Jonathan that was like saying, hey, spar with me. He was literally trying to not show off that he has abilities and his brother does not. And Jonathan just felt so threatened. But I really think that the drug makes him a lot more aggressive, but also a lot of this aggression, I think, is coming from Jonathan, because it must suck to be the twin that's not powered. Like, you have your dad and your brother and they have this bond. Your mom's always doing her shit, and you're just basically on your own, left to your own devices with your girlfriend who's poor and has to sell drugs to get by, and you basically started selling to you. Which, by the way, where are they getting money for? Where is Jordan getting money? He didn't have a job. His parents don't make any money. I don't care what anybody says. Lois doesn't make any money. Their dad, I think, is a volunteer coach. I never understand where the money comes from in this house, but you know what? And they took on two boarders, so you got two more people living in the house that you got to feed, two mouths to feed. They also don't have jobs, so I'm just saying. I don't know where all the money's coming from in Superman and Lois, but that's just my question. I mean, if you guys have a theory, let me know. I've been joking about it, but I'm so serious right now. I do not know where the money is coming from. But yeah, so I think Jonathan might be actually Brightburn. I just think that's gonna happen. So by the end of this episode, we have learned a few things. Number one, Chrissy, who basically throughout the episode has been telling Lois that, you keep secrets, so don't get on me about it when I'm doing stuff, which is, she has a point. Her and Lois have found common ground because when Allie drugged her, when she drugged Chrissy was like, okay, I'm going to tell you this. Your sister wasn't wrong, but that woman is dangerous. And actually, she might actually be a little crazy. So we need to do something about her. So now Team Lois and Team Chrissy, which is such a weird thing, are now on the case. So we have them pretty much trying to investigate and figure out what to do about Allie, which is going to spill into Superman's journey because Bizarro is there to stop a war that Allie is going to start, supposedly is going to cause on his world and on their world. So that's going to happen. The thing with Kyle, that's just Jerry Springer. I don't know. I felt bad because he's like the only Hispanic besides the rest of his family that I've seen in town. He even says they're changing their name to Cortez from Cushing because they, back when, his grandfather was trying to get work, he couldn't get it under his last name, which that tracks. I mean, hell, we all know it's racist as hell in the United States, especially during that time. So the fact that is the character that has to be the alcoholic and the cheat, I'm like, really? So that does irritate me a little bit. But not saying it can't happen. I mean, I'm sure it happens across cultures, ethnicities, and blah. But when you have very small representation in Smallville, where you do see a few Black people outside of Steel and that, but very, very sparingly, and it's the traditional, older white town that Smallville was in the comics. So I don't know. It was just something that I thought was interesting. But yeah, Kyle and Lana are going to have some issues. I am so happy that their daughter, who I think is also named Sophie, like the Sophie from Batwoman, I'm so happy that we saw her because whenever I don't see her, I get nervous because, it's like the Family Matters trope when Judy goes up the stairs and doesn't come back ever again. So I felt like, is this child just going to drop off? Like, I think it's going to be down to one child now, and that's just, Sarah. So I was in my feelings about that, but luckily, she was there for the quinceañera. I was like, yeah, she had the dress on. And now I will say, Sarah was like giving advice to Jordan about Jonathan's mood swings, basically saying, hey, this could be something bad. I had depression and tried to kill myself, so don't let it go. But it's interesting that her sister, I think, also has depression. And honestly, I would have depression too, because I feel like my family whole ass forgets me like every other episode. So I mean, I'm here. So just throwing it out there. But yeah, so we have that to deal with. So there's a lot of questions. My biggest question for this entire episode is, if Allie is not Purple Parasite and she's not the daughter of Dr. Fate and that amulet is not the amulet of Anubis, then what the hell is going on with her? Because then the character name is Purple the Parasite's name in the comics. But that does not mean a damn thing in the Arrowverse because we know they reinvent everything. So she could be a whole other character that she never was. So I'm just really curious to see what that is. So yeah. All right. So let's talk about Naomi. So guys, we are on episode 5. I'm still going to review this show, but I'm going to tell you, it is still slow and slightly boring to me. It's really hard for me to get through some of these episodes because of how boring they are. And I know that's bad because this is a freshman year show, they're just trying to find their feet, but I feel like the writing is it's like the biggest slow burn ever. But what's not a slow burn is the love triangles and the romances of this young girl who should be focusing more on figuring out who she is and going to school than who she's making out with. So It is a thing, guys. Plus, they made her parents really stupid, and I don't know why. So basically, Naomi's decided to try and be a normal girl. She's gotten with Nathan. You know, they're going camping in the wilderness at this camp. They're supposed to stay at the camp. I think the last day there, they're going to get tents and go out in the wilderness and camp and blah blah blah. So she just basically wants to be normal. But unfortunately, that's not what the show is called. It's not called Normal Naomi. It's just called Naomi. So she starts getting into some situations. So like they start talking about, you know, like basically like haunted stories, word of mouth, you know, urban legend stuff. And they mentioned like they had a scientist there that she saw some kind of light or something in the woods, and then she like went crazy and they never saw her again. So that was like a big mystery. And Anthony, who is another one of the suitors for Naomi, because everybody has to love Naomi in this show. You can kind of see that he's figured out that Nathan and her are a thing and that they kiss each other. And she even said something about it when he kind of scoots, you know, next to her, and she kind of scoots away. And she kind of let him know that they were together. And he's like, I know, the whole school knows. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting more exposition on your love life than I am on what's actually happening in your damn life and your superhero origin story. So like, it's just a thing that's really bugging me, but that is literally the Arrowverse CW formula. So it's what they do. They have to interject soap operas into everything. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying you can't have romance, but damn, I mean, this is overkill. So they had a lot of little awkward exchanges about her being with Nathan. And then I'm going to say this, Nathan is a very, very cute, intelligent young man, but his attitude effing sucks when he's jealous. Like, he was upset with Naomi for not spending time with him and kind of, you know, doing other stuff. Like at the time, I think Anthony had gone out and then came back disoriented and couldn't remember anything, but thought he saw something strange and he wanted to investigate it. And of course, Nathan was like, first he wanted to go along with it because Naomi said, hey, we should check this out. So he's like, okay, yeah, I could do that. I'll go too, because I don't want to be left behind, because, you know, you're my woman, basically. But then when she wasn't really giving him attention, he took a cloth that they were cleaning the table on and threw it at Anthony. And I'm like, he has the nastiest attitude. Now, I'm pretty sure they're going to give Anthony a nasty attitude probably next week, because that's what they seem to do on the show. But right now, if you go back and look at all of the interactions about who is a kind of a dick, they make Nathan into a dick when it comes to Naomi. He's so jealous, he acts like a dick, especially to Anthony. And I'm like, I just want you guys to duke it out, because I'm tired of watching it. It's stupid. This has nothing pertaining to this plot. This wasn't even in the comics. I don't understand why I have to watch this shit. I'm just being real. And the Lourdes girl from the comic book, she doesn't even realize that Naomi's probably with Nathan yet. So that's going to be interesting too when she finds out. So yeah, they build up this whole love triangle, but actually, no, it's not even a triangle, because there's technically 4 of them in it. And I don't know why. It just seems really, really weird. So yeah, now we're going to go for, because I mean, that I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a huge chunk of this story, like literally a huge chunk of this story. So the parents, while they're away, basically are in a pickle, because basically, Naomi's mother wants to leave because she's worried they're going to find out that she's an alien. Naomi's an alien. The father's like, no, I'm in the military. This is how I can protect her. They're both right. They're both wrong, but they both do something really effing stupid. So like they call in Naomi's mother because, I guess she's a curator. I mean, she's good with ancient languages and picture and in the comics she was an artist, but like I guess in this one she's kind of like, if you're a Charm fan, she's basically what Prue was in the museums. And so she was coming in to study this ancient language to see if it was alien. And of course it's the tablet, or the stone tablet, that they are not even a tablet, the round stone with engraved alien writing that they first found Naomi on. And so they're trying to study it. And of course, the wife's freaking out. She's like, oh, I can't tell them this is alien. That's going to lead back to her. And then the dad's like, well, we need to come up with a plan. So they formulate this brilliant plan, guys. brilliant. It's so brilliant. I mean, it's so brilliant. They're going to take the alien DNA because they've taken samples off of and switch it out with human our normal DNA by going into the lab and switching the vials. And so they get there to this guarded military infrastructure, which, by the way, military brat. I know how guarded stuff was that had nothing to do with alien shit. So you were not going to make me suspend my disbelief that there were no guards in the hall. And then of course her dad's like, oh, by the way, there are no cameras in this hallway either. Bull, what? Like, why would you not install cameras in the place you're keeping your alien shit? That doesn't even make any damn sense to me. So he was stupid. The wife was stupid. They go in there. There's a guy already there working on stuff. She distracts him by questioning in timeline. You know, what do you think the timeline of the stone is? Blah, blah, blah. Wow, the dad switches the vials out. It's all on effing camera. So I'm like, why would you think they did not have cameras in the military structure that's holding the aliens? I just, I was like, wow. I'm like, this is why they let their daughter stay out till like 1 or 2, 3 in the morning on a school night, because they really don't get it. They just don't get anything. They don't get it. Again, I don't know if we're gonna get the same origin story for McDuffie basically that we have in the comics, that he's actually from another planet and he was there to hunt Dee, because they seem to have no connection right now. As a matter of fact, what's really interesting to me in this episode is, which I don't know how many of you have actually read the comic, they're kind of doing what they always do in terms of villains. And they've done this with Killer Frost. They've done this technically with Cisco. Cisco started off a villain. They've done it. I mean, there's just so many characters that are villains that are now main superheroes in the Arrowverse that it doesn't make room for heroes. So it's like Zumbato is an a-hole, an overpowered OP piece of shit in the comics. And right now, you got him playing this. He could be good. He could be bad. He needs Naomi for something. We don't know his motivation. Blah blah blah. It's not that. It's just weird to me. It's weird to me that him and Dee are working together now, on the benefit of Naomi. And I don't get it. Now I know that Zumbato is speaking out truths, like the fact that Dee was, basically he was an assassin before he reformed. And apparently he has a lot of warrants out for him and people are looking for him. And he's hiding in this town on Earth. To me, it would only track that he would stay there if he had the same connection to Naomi that he has in the comics. Now, he's a mentor to her, don't get me wrong. But in the comics, her and her adopted dad had an agreement. They would stop fighting each other and they both would, basically take care of Naomi. McDuffie and his wife would raise her and he would be like the bodyguard standing in the back or in the background in case something happened. He does do that, but it's like, why? I'm like, yeah, you found her and you realize that she's an alien like you. Okay, but you live in your own life and you're hiding from the intergalactic, interdimensional police or whatever warrants or bounty hunters they put on you. Why are you even doing this? It doesn't make any sense. So there's that. I like that Zumbato did stir the pot by name dropping. I think her name's pronounced Quiela, which is Dee's lover. That he didn't get the whole speech he gave last week when with Naomi to get her motivated to date Nathan was don't basically give up on love and don't be scared to say what you need to say because you may not have time to say it. So we know some bad stuff went down between him and his lady, and of course Zumbato was like basically saying that her name was on Jaeger, one of the bounty hunters lists to hunt. And so that to me tells me that she's still alive and he just doesn't know what the hell's going on with her. And so I guess we'll be seeing her in the series at some point. But yeah, it's like we're getting all this exposition on Dee and not on Naomi. It's like we get a little bit on Naomi. You're from this other Earth and it's not doing so well. Actually, it's kind of dead. And people want to bring you back to this portion that's left. But why? We don't need to talk about this. It's time to talk about Dee and watch your love life. That's all we need to do on Naomi. It is so frustrating for me. It really is. I don't know. I have issues with that. And the whole thing with being basically the alien of the week and Naomi basically having to go in and save Anthony by using her powers technically in front of him. All he really had to do was turn his head and see it. He was not unconscious. Him not seeing her use her abilities was very strange. I don't know what's up with that. I don't actually know, because we had the Moonshine Jimmy. That's the storyline, which was just stupid. I'm sorry. It literally was like, we're at camp. I need to scare you with some shit and just throwing a little alien crap in there. That's literally what that was. It, to me, did not really mean anything. Then we have Zimbardo and Dio working together against the bounty hunter. And then you have the parents being idiots. And then you have Naomi's love life. That's literally it in a nutshell. But it's like, what is actually happening in this show? I don't understand. I love Annabelle, the character Annabelle. I love that they cast a girl that wasn't like actually real. She actually is curvy. She's a smart ass. She's extremely smart. She's not, the Hollywood standard of you have to look like a plastic Barbie to be my best friend BFF. She actually, seems like an actual best friend. She, to me, has the most realistic acting style in this entire series. I don't know what their plans are for her, but she is in the comics. She's the only one that I remember from the comics. So she's actually a canon character. She was Naomi's best friend in the comics. So I do love her actress, and I love how she's portrayed, and I love that she's always the voice of reason, and she's always there to tell Naomi when she's being an idiot. And so I really like that. And she doesn't really stop there. She kind of puts it upon or transposes it to other people too. So I do like Annabelle, but I don't know. I think the actress that plays Naomi is adorable. I think she sounds intelligent. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about. They did make her like every other stereotypical superhero. The one that's like, I can do this myself. I don't need any help. I'm powerful. Oh, well, maybe I can't, but I'm never wrong. It's always about me. I'm a little entitled right now. But outside of that, it's just slow and boring. Like, I'm waiting for something momentous to happen. Something that's like, oh, these are the plans. Because we have a plan for Naomi, but we have to take 87 episodes to get to that conversation. I don't know what the hell is happening, if that makes sense. I don't know, guys. This one, it's not, like I said, it's not a bad show. It's just a slow as hell show. It's just very effing slow. Like, I feel like if they cut out all of Naomi's love shit and then put in more of the actual plot of the story, it would be very enjoyable for me. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not good. It's like in between. And I don't know. I mean, it's just what it is. But yeah, so basically, there really wasn't much to this episode. Honestly, there really wasn't much. I think next week might be a little tiny bit more interesting, but then again, that's probably going to be between Anthony and freaking Nathan. They'll probably beat the hell out of each other. I don't know. I don't really know. I know her friends are slow if they don't realize what's going on with her, but the show is slow. So, I mean, it supports all that. So, I mean, slow thinking, slow writing, just what it is. Counselor Jeff was whatever. The alien was whatever. Like, it was not that big of a deal to me, guys. I'm sorry. You can see from my tone that I'm bored talking about it. I'm bored. So yes, we got nuggets. We got to know that Dee's girlfriend is also being hunted by, bounty hunters. We got to see Naomi, basically use her super strength to open a door. She discovers new things about herself, so that's kind of cool. We got to see the fact that all of her friends except for Annabelle want her sexually. We got to see that Nathan is absolutely an a-hole when jealous. We got to see that her parents are not bright. I don't know. You tell me what you liked about this episode, because I mean, I'm struggling. I'm like, it's just boring. So let's jump on to something a little more interesting and cray-cray. Legends of Tomorrow, Season 7, Episode 12, the precursor to the season, potentially series finale, because I don't know if they got renewed for Season 8. I have no idea. I love the title. It's Too Legit to Quit, which is kind of funny because they end up quitting. So basically they retire. And it's because when they get back to the ship, They already shut Gideon down, but they don't know how to save, Gideon from being stabbed. And so they end up having to basically revive evil computer AI Gideon, who starts choking them to death, taking all the oxygen off the ship until they realize that she can't kill them while they're in the room because she's also killing Gideon, and her programming will not allow her to kill herself. But basically, she cannot kill an extension of herself. This leads to Gideon becoming the captain of the ship, and basically to correct or save the timeline, all the legends have to retire so that it's just going to be Gideon, evil Gideon, and Gary protecting the timeline. And all the rest of the legends are going to go off into their new futures. And they have they got to see these videos of themselves, which is kind of interesting. So we saw that Sarah and Ava have a daughter. I wish they gave us a little bit more. And the reason I'm saying this is, I don't remember what season it was, but we got to see Sarah when she was not a legend working at a store and losing her mind. Like, she was like, I am not made for this type of life. Losing her mind. She is not good at 9 to 5 jobs, 8 to 4 jobs, 7 to 4, whatever. She's not good. Not good. Not good. And so I don't know what she's going to go back to as a settling down, pulling up roots type, scenario that Ava was saying that they were going to do if they have a child. I don't know what Ava's going to do. Ava gets bored. Interesting. So I mean, it's interesting. I really want to know what their actual futures hold besides them just having a child. I mean, I'm glad they have a daughter. It's awesome, but like, that is a potential future anyway. But I mean, what else do they have? What else do they do? With Zari 2.0, we saw that she made audible lipstick. So basically, it's talking lipstick. That would drive me out of my damn mind. I don't need my lips talking to me. That's really weird. But she apparently becomes like number one in her timeline of entrepreneurship and basically trending as a social media goddess and influencer of all time, and she's like really irritated because she's like, I actually have changed since I've been on the ship. That's not all that I am. And I kind of felt bad for Zari 2.0 because she was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to retire. Neither did Astra. Astra wanted to basically keep the gang together because she finally got a BFF. She got Spooner, and she's got a boyfriend in Behrad, and she doesn't want to be she doesn't want to be away from them because Behrad's from the future, and Spooner is supposed to go back to the 1920s to work with her mother, starting a medical hospital. So that means that they wouldn't be able to see each other. I think Astor was going to run for president, or it was like president or the Senate or Congress or something like that. It was something political. So it would have been very hard for her because, I mean, and I get it. Spooner and her, I really understand because Astor was in hell forever and she finally got adjusted, and with the legends. And now you're telling her she has to go off on her own again. I get that. That sucks. So, yeah, unfortunately, though, everybody decided to take the deal. I think Behrad basically he was on a version of like Sesame Street. I think that's where they actually filmed the new Sesame Street show, the current Sesame Street. So, and he was singing a song like he was Mr. Rogers. It was freaking hilarious, but he loved it. So, I mean, whatever. And Nate, he was going to become and he was writing a book. So he was an author that was very famous for writing. And so, and now not bad futures, but they were separated. And basically Astra made the decision to make keys so they all could use a door to get back to the John's in-between limbo house and be able to see each other. Well, what's interesting is before they were getting ready to sign their contracts and leave, Ava had promised that she was going to save Alan. And so she was going to go. And then, of course, Zari 2.0 was going to go with her. And then Gideon sensed that they were up to something. She went and quote unquote saved Alan herself. But what actually ended up happening is she made a robot copy of him, just like the evil effing Gideon computer was doing. And, of course, she thought that nobody would be any of the wiser. And Gwen obviously was wise because by the end of the episode, he knocked him out and was like, I'm going to find the real Alan. So he even knew it was a robot. And what's so sad to me is that Gideon told Gary, and he was like, I'm not okay with this, basically. I need some time to go think. And so she was thinking, oh, he might leave the ship. And of course, evil Gideon's like, he's probably going to leave you, blah, blah, blah. And then encouraging Gary to go because you don't want to be with somebody basically who would lie to you, just playing them basically. But Gary's like not taking the bait. So he's like, no, I'm going to stay with her. And then Gideon like starts to go find him. And then she literally launches Gary out of the airlock, which is interesting because I don't know if Gideon knows that Gary is an alien. And the only reason I'm saying that is when they got in their little spat, she told Gideon, well, you know how some humans have to take time or whatever, however she phrased it, which tells me that maybe she does not have a recollection or record of him being actually an alien, which is why I think he's not going to die because it's not the same physiology. I don't know what kind of oxygen he needs to breathe in his alien form, but more than likely it's not the same as humans. And I think he uses the Gary persona is actually to me a suit. So I think that he'll be fine. I don't think he's dead at all. But now Gideon's thinking that Gary just left the ship. So all that was just messed up. Like the whole situation was just messed up. When you had all these like talks, there was one where Spooner was about to be launched out of the air shaft because she was going in to try and deprogram, basically to shut Gideon off, and gets caught. And I remember Asher was like, I'm going to blow this damn door off and we're all going to go out of the damn airlock. I'm going to kill Gideon too to save Spooner. And, it worked. And I love that. I love that she was getting ready to tear apart that whole damn ship to save her BFF. So I thought that was cute. I love Astra and Spooner's friendship. I just love it. But yeah, I don't know. And Gideon herself, I think, is going to start turning because she already has that potential. I think she's heartbroken over Gary and it's going to make her bitter. And I think that she's going to have the potential. And if you saw the preview for the season finale, it does look like she's turned a little bit. So I'm really interested to see how that plays off. This was a really good episode. They're all really good episodes because they're campy and they're fun and they're stupid as hell. And that's what they're meant to be. Legends is not to be taken seriously. Yes, there are serious moments, but even the serious moments have like an edge of cray-cray to it. So it's like, it's Legends. I love Legends. I really hope they do get season 8 because I will be hard pressed in my feelings and upset and, questioning the cosmos if Batwoman got a season 4 and Legends gets canceled. I will be mad as hell because that means that the people at the CW did not watch their own products. Just saying, which is probably true, but still. But yeah, that is that in a nutshell. So I know I grazed over that, and I'll look at your comments too. So if I missed stuff, we can talk about it. But I'm just gonna get through these reviews very quickly. And now we're talking about Batwoman. Let's get some water, guys. Let's get some water. So this episode is actually supposed to be about them trying to find the joy buzzer and deal with Marcus. A lot of this episode was as basically the title of this should have been how to take a huge shit on Alice. Like, let's shit on Alice Day. That's basically what this is. This episode is basically what did it for me. I was like trying to hang in there for you guys. I'm like, I don't want to do an Arrowverse weekly recap and not do the full experience. And then I watched this episode and I'm like, I cannot continue to watch this shit anymore. I just can't. It's just too fucking stupid. So Alice in the opening scene gets a joy buzzer, zaps herself, becomes Beth again, goes to court. They talk about all the traumatizing stuff that happened to her. And then she gets cleared and then she's walking down the stairs and you see, Ryan's like, you may be cleared in the court of public opinion, but I don't, you're not clear with me basically. And did a little biatch thing and then turned around. It's stuff like that makes me not like Ryan's character. Like seriously, how they write Ryan is like the stupid stuck up bitch. I'm sorry. They really do. For somebody who's from the streets, who had nothing, she doesn't act like it. And so she sometimes acts more entitled than Mary. And Mary is a whole ass billionaire. She has a lot of money. So I'm always in my feelings about that. But that just started because that turned out to be a delusion. She actually wasn't, none of that was happening. She keeps seeing people from her past that she's hurt or that she's killed. Like Mouse was in one of the scenes. Ocean was in the scene where she got out of jail. Like she's hallucinating. These are all delusions. So obviously she needs help. She's losing her mind. And why would she not? She was tortured for 11, 12, 13 years, by Mouse's dad, making her make like face suits and doing all kinds of psychological damage, finding her mother's head in the freezer. Messed up. And then got basically taken to, Sophia and had her mind played with. So people have been messing with her head a lot, and people like literally legit. Yes, Alice has done some horrible shit, but she's literally, no joke, brainwashed and completely traumatized and completely effed up by sadistic people. Not just once, but effing twice. Now, when we saw in season 1, when we saw that Ryan was kidnapped, basically by I'm calling her the I think it was the candy lady, and basically to groom her for the Faceless Society. It was like this big traumatizing thing. I'm like, you were gone like a week. I'm like, you fucking gone a week. Week. And then you still had some shit to say about, well, if I had been white like Alice, they would have found me. They didn't find Alice. I'm like, yeah, technically they found her, but the guy got in her head, and so she kept quiet and then basically never saw her family again. So they act like Alice was born evil. And I'm pointing this out because in this episode, something happened that pissed me off, and it came from a character that I actually like, and that is Mary. Mary had given Alice last week money to leave and start over and get away from the police and blah, blah, blah. And then she starts talking about how she can't help her get the joy buzzer because Alice didn't stop her from killing this guy and ruining his life and ruining her life. You didn't stop me. Why didn't you stop me? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, you literally knocked her out in the car with your powers. You went and did this. Take accountability for your own shit. Like, I do not. The writing, guys, makes me nauseous. Like, seriously, it makes me nauseous. They have Mary understanding that, yes, Alice does effed up stuff. Alice killed her mom, and she still had to put that aside to be able to be a doctor and technically a pseudo sister, because they're technically stepsisters, aside to try and help her mentally. And she literally told Alice, but I'm not your sister, and this is your fault. I killed this man because you didn't stop me. Really? Let's see if that would have stood up in court. So that was really effing stupid. And even though Mary went to the family's house to confess, and then they're like, oh, we already know who did it. It was Alice. She, already said it, blah, blah, blah. And my son said it was a blonde and blah, 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 blah. And boom. And Mary's like, oh, yeah, that's what I was coming at. She literally went along with it to clear her own ass. And then went to prison to Arkham later because we'll get to that in a second. Alice is back in Arkham, and Mary goes there to talk to her to thank her because she's like, no one's ever done that for me, blah, blah, blah. So she does kind of do a tiny bit of a 180. But I mean, it should have never took Alice taking the blame for you murdering somebody for you to do that. So it's fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. And it made my head hurt. So I was like, all right, Mary, you and Mary and Alice and sometimes Sophie are the three characters that I like. I say sometimes because right now they're writing Sophie like she's fucking stupid too. But I was very, very in my feelings that Mary was like, oh, I got to make this right. I want to be a good person, blah, blah, blah. And the moment that Alice took the fall for her, she was like, yep, that's what happened. So she dropped like 50 points for me in terms of character. And they basically character assassinated this girl because that is so effing stupid. So yeah, done with that. Sophie woke up in bed half naked because her and Ryan had the most hilarious sex scene I've ever seen before between two women in my life. It was really, really funny because, Batwoman can't figure out how to take off a belt. That is the irony in that is not lost on me. It's really, really funny. That meaning that she had to become the bottom in this situation, which it's Sophie. She would have been the bottom anyway. But I think it's so funny to me that Ryan's still like, my feelings about relationships, I push people away, blah, blah, blah. She left this girl in her bed and then invited her mother over and didn't tell her. And then tried to play it off like they weren't a thing to everybody. Because of course she did. Because she's a bitch. I'm like, it's what it is. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. You see why I cannot review Batwoman anymore? I'm just too damn honest. I can't do it. I am too honest with this series. It is just written. It's written like somebody who just got into like fanfic writing and is learning to spell and learning how to put, prepositional phrases together and, trying to figure out how to write a decent plot and continuity and all this stuff. It's like you're learning as you go. This is literally how the series is written. Like toddlers are involved. So as a matter of fact, I think a toddler would do a better job, to be honest with you. So yeah, so the whole awkward encounter between Sophie and Miss Jet is what it is. It's like, okay. She's like, Sophie's like, oh, now you want to come over here and be an at-home mom? And like, they're just talking shit like back and forth. And I'm like, this is so weird. This whole conversation is just weird to me. I don't know why. It's like, why? And then we learned that, so they actually name dropped Barbara, which is Jim Gordon's ex-wife, being part of the Black Glove Society. And of course, Jada is. So you have all these different members are, part of that society. Well, Jada gets kidnapped basically right in front of Sophie because she gets into this car. It looks like a car she came in. So, I mean, it's an honest assumption that would be her car, but it actually was not. It was one of Marcus's cars that was made to look like his mother's car because her driver pulled up 5 minutes later, which why the hell didn't you have bodyguards with you? You know, your son's effing crazy. You're coming to your daughter because you're scared. Why would you not have guards in there outside the door? Why are you coming with one damn driver and she looks like she's eating Cheetos? I don't think so. There's something seriously stupid about this. So it is what it is. But she gets kidnapped, and for some reason, I don't know why, but Marcus is a huge fan of Alice. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's because he's pseudo Joker, and I guess Cray likes Cray. And so Alice is trying to get the buzzer, and he basically knocks her out, and which I still don't understand because Alice could fucking destroy Marcus in a fight. I mean, and was. And, he's basically doing a show for him. So he has all the members of, basically the Black Glove Society all tied to chairs. And he's just going around killing them. Like in one by one, well, he's doing things to kill them. And he saves his mama for last because he wants to use, of course, Mr. Freeze's, serum that she was going to use on him to freeze him, just basically to freeze her. And I will say he thought it out. He basically started basically all of them were tied to chairs, going around the room and figuring out what they did and what they used. Like one person used like a bunch of, chemicals like gases on their son. So he did it on her. He's just going around the room to try and figure it out. And Alice is basically the only reason that Jada is alive. She's not going to get credit for that because Marcus was about to take Mama's ass out, and Alice distracted him and said, "Hey, I want the joy buzzer. I'll give you something better." She told him about the damn Batcave, which you know what? I would too, because fuck them. Like, all they do is use her and then put her back in Arkham. So I mean, I would definitely do that. So hell, I take photos and make a YouTube video. This is the Batcave. This is Batwoman. They don't know who I am. But so she gets the buzzer and she's about to use it on herself. And here comes Sophie, and her and Sophie get into it. And then Alice is about to, I got to give it to her. Sophie was holding her own, but Alice was about to whoop Sophie's ass. And then here comes Luke's dumbass because he can only really attack from behind because, he can't fight worth shit. He's on top of the building in the Batwing and he shoots one of his batarangs at her and knocks it out of her hand. And then she's like screaming, please don't take me to Arkham, Sophie. Don't put me back in Arkham. And that's exactly what they do because they don't give a shit that this person was tortured. It's only when one of those four are tortured, and sometimes poor Mary, they don't give a fuck about her most of the time either, but it's only when they are tortured or they are made to do something that's out of character that's completely forgivable. But with Alice, they're like, you're just a piece of shit, so we don't really care about you. I can't stand this show, guys. I can't. It makes a joke out of mental health. It makes a joke out of somebody who literally is crying for help. The fact that they literally said, where Alice is like, I need this. I need basically to try and help me. And she's like, well, Ryan needs it for her brother. Her brother, who she's known for like 5.5 damn minutes, who's proven to be an asshole. She needs it for him. And I'm like, you know what? I can't. I can't watch this shit anymore. I just cannot. I cannot. And the award for the stupidest fucking Arrowverse show on the planet is season 2 and 3 of Batwoman. Season 1 had its issues. But forget Kate Kane. Just in general, it just had its issues, but it was nowhere near the fucking train wreck that this shit is. It is like, no, the train has already derailed, but for some reason, nobody told the stupid passengers, so they're just hanging on for dear life. It's just dumb. You're already dead. I'm like, it's just stupid. It is stupid. I'm like, I cannot, guys. I can fucking not. So the funniest part of this episode is when Marcus tried to zap Jada. Actually, he tried to zap her with the Joker buzzer. That's what he did. And I thought that was funny as shit. I don't know. That was actually really funny to me. I was like, zap them all. I'm completely cool with that. But yeah, it's Batwoman, of course, comes and saves Mama. And then did anybody really care? I didn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The fact that Marcus got away and knows where the Bat Cave is, and is now going to get on TV and tell everybody. Now, let me tell you what's going to make everybody upset. Marcus is not going to tell anybody about his sister. He's going to wait to the last fucking minute because she has main character insurance. He's not going to do anything at all about the Batcave. He probably used a few of the gadgets or whatever. But he's not going to tell every villain where the Batcave is, which is what he should do if he was a smart villain. He won't do that either because they can't, because they have to have the Batcave back and they have to have their perfect Batwoman show that, all the fanfic writers and fanfic readers want. And it's just really fucking stupid. So yeah, nothing's going to come of this. Nothing. The season finale is going to be just as stupid as this episode and mostly every episode this season. I think there are only a couple of that were kind of okay, but they're just dumb. I'm like, it's really, really dumb. And it is not making me want to watch Gotham Knights or anything else that the Arrowverse does in the Gotham universe at all. I will keep my Gotham to the movies where the Batman is. I'm excited about that. And for Batgirl and whatever else series they do on HBO Max, because Peacemaker has shown me that they can make really good series. And even if James Gunn is not involved with them, I really do believe that these shows will probably be on par with some of the ones we've seen in MCU. So I have no problem with HBO Max's DC renditions for the most part. I have a huge problem, a huge effing problem with what the hell they're doing with the Gotham universe and the Arrowverse. It is so fucking stupid. It is not the Gotham that we know and love. It's nothing. It's just nothing. So yeah. I'm so excited. This is my next to last ever Batwoman review because I fucking hate this show. Yeah. That's where we're at, guys. That is where we're at. So let me go. I know you guys have been saying some stuff. I've been seeing it. So let me scroll up. Ooh, a lot. Scrolling up. Scrolling. Okay, I never would have saw the bigger Bizarro world being connected to her. Wow. Yeah, no, I need to know more about that. Is because I want to say Allie. I mean, how cool would it be if she was Dr. Fate's daughter, a version of Dr. Fate's daughter on in Earth? That would be cool, and it was actually the Amulet of Anubis. That would be very, very cool, especially if the Amulet of Anubis is what Lieutenant Anderson is currently holding, because then that would mean that the Bizarro world is the pocket dimension inside the amulet. That would be very cool. I would have no problem with that. Probably won't happen though. Did you see the new Charm poster? I have not. I have not been to sleep. I've only had 2 or 3 hours of sleep, so I haven't had a chance to peruse the interwebs, but I will look for it. It's understandable. Thank you for torturing yourself with Batwoman for us. I can't even watch the show, so you lasted longer than me. Like, I tried. I literally tried. I can't do it. I just can't. Hello, Mercenary. How are you? Hi, Ryan. Dr. Faulkner's death was shocking. So shocking we had to see her body twice. Well, maybe because they twisted her. He twisted her like a pretzel. Like her head was going a different direction. It was weird. I don't know why he didn't kill Lois, but Clark was like, well, maybe because he's married to you on another Earth. I know how she looked at him like, is this gonna be a thing? Like every Earth, I'm somebody else's damn wife. Sarah and Ava got a future daughter. Their daughter was cute too. Their daughter was very cute. Her husband having an affair with the lady from the bar. Yeah, that happened. I mean, it's messed up when he was blowing off steam. There are other ways to blow off steam. That her father was having an affair. The lady from the bartender, he was blowing off steam. Kyle's sleeping in his truck that night. Kyle's not even going to have a truck. What are you talking about? Kyle's in trouble. He is in trouble. Poor Sarah. She had to find out what her father did. Yeah, but like I said, Sarah did cheat. She kissed somebody at camp. So, like, when I was thinking about that, I understand your reaction because of your parents, and how dare you cheat on my mother? I get that, but I feel like you have to have a little bit of humility because you did the same thing to Jordan, and Jordan didn't make a big deal out of it. He literally forgave you and apologized to you because cheating in the Arrowverse does not matter. It doesn't matter. Is it bad that Jordan is my favorite twin just by personality? No, he was actually the most obnoxious one in season 1, and I actually like him a lot better now in season 2. So yeah, you were completely okay with that. Hello, Kevin. Happy Saturday. And yes, John's life sucked. I do feel bad for John. I really do. Yeah, I feel for Kyle too. Kyle, he made his bed, buddy. He made his bed. Hello, Dee Marie. Set photos confirm that Jonathan will probably get powers or be more involved with Clark's superhero activities because he's wearing a punk rock Superboy type of outfit. Well, I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't get him. I don't know. Maybe he's just like the slower. Maybe he just evolves slowly. I don't know. Clearly, Superman and Lois is doing its own thing with Allie. I mean, they have to be. They have to be because she's not Purple Parasite. If she is Purple Parasite, then they're reinventing that character's entire. Well, you know what? I just said that out loud, and that's probably what they could be doing too. Never mind. Forget what I just said. Jonathan's journey is similar to Superboy's journey in Young Justice season 1. True, except he did have powers. But you're absolutely right. No, it was Connor. Never mind. You're right. Yeah, the main story is slow, but the side plots move at warp. I don't understand why Naomi did do that. I don't understand. Establish her stuff first and then add on to her life more. It is so stupid. Yes, Naomi needs to speed up 100%. Naomi went back to being boring again right when the story picked up the pace with action and drama in eps 3 and 4. It's disappointing they dropped off again. I'm telling you. I understand they want us to understand that she's in high school. I get it. But I mean, Buffy was in high school. We didn't have to deal with that. Yes, she had the angel stuff, but she still had a lot of bad shit happening. And she had to deal with all of these things. There's so many stories that are set in high school. But high school is not the 100% focus of the hero. So I don't understand why it is in this universe. It's really weird. They should have kept Black Lightning. And when is Batman coming? And when is Batman coming to the Arrowverse? Hopefully never, because they'll F that up. When is the Batman coming out? March 4th, if that's what you're asking. I haven't caught one of your streams in forever. I know. Welcome back. I haven't caught one of my streams in forever. Sorry, I'm asleep right now. Just waiting for Naomi to remember you. Yeah, she broke up with him. I don't even understand. Look, that girl is a succubus. That's what they need to make her. She should be like a POC version or a black version of the Lost Girl show. And that would have made sense why everybody's just like gaga over her. I'm not saying she's not pretty. I'm not saying that she's not charismatic, but I mean the likelihood of that many people throwing themselves at her at the same damn time, very, very hard to digest. Just saying. But it is what it is. Like I said before, the DC TV shows are all soap operas. Yep. But I mean, even Smallville did it better. You know, it was just stupid. I really appreciate these breakdowns. Well, I try. I give you a breakdown, and I try not to have a breakdown at the same time. So I guess, win-win. I don't like Nathan's attitude. You need to calm down. It's not all about you. Exactly. He is. And I know that they're going to make me hate Anthony because Anthony is, I don't know what they call them. We call them civilians or civvies when I was in military brat, when we lived on base. But I think they call them townies. And I feel like that's also going to be really derogative. And I feel like it's like Nathan said, that the townies or whatever they call them and the military brats, they don't get along very well. And Anthony's family is not military. And of course, Nathan's mom is. And so they already have that animosity. And I read a summary for the homecoming episode where it seems like Anthony's going to be in his feelings about what Nathan's doing to break homecoming tradition because he's military. So I think they're going to make us hate Anthony too. I don't know. But right now, Nathan has the crown on being anal effing retentive right now, especially when somebody's talking to Naomi. He just, like him throwing that thing in Anthony's face and walking off. That right there. In my mind, I heard like bells, like ding, ding, round one. That was ass whooping, music playing right there. I heard the theme song of me whooping your ass right in that moment. Throw stuff in my face. What is wrong with you? Like, what is your malfunction? So Anthony has shown a lot of restraint because I would have picked up that chair and throw a run at his ass. So maybe that's just my Native American and black side talking. I'm also part Highlander in Scotland. The Highlander was a violent show. So who knows? I think all of my ethnicities are violent. I try not to be, but go. That was some fighting right there. Did you read the synopsis for Charmed season 4? Interesting development. I guess I'm going to need to do that because I didn't realize there was one out. So I will do that. The brilliant plan of the parents. No, they did not have a brilliant plan whatsoever. There was nothing brilliant about anything that they did at all. And I'm kind of disappointed considering his rank in the military. He should have been more intelligent, but whatever. Off topic. Mel and Maggie are learning to navigate life without their sister, Macy. Mel distracts herself with new flings. What happened to Ruby? Maggie takes on more than her share of demon hunting, and Jordan teams up with Maggie while navigating his newfound magical powers. Well, that's going to be I'm about to get with Eloy. That might be a Charm video in the making right there. And we will be reviewing Charm, so don't worry about that. I agree, Kevin, just that some soap operas are better than others. True. Character strong, but content weak. Yes. I feel like the character basis for Naomi is good. Like I said, I don't hate Naomi. I don't think her parents I think they're stupid, but I don't think they're bad. Dee's an interesting, intriguing character. Let's be clear. Z is, I feel like the friends could be if they stop trying to throw themselves at her. Again, I like Annabelle a lot. But I feel like the content is slow. It's just very, very slow. It's like watching paint dry. And I don't understand why. It shouldn't be that way in a superhero show. And plus, I'm still always in my feelings when we keep mentioning that Superman is a comic book character in her show. She's like, I have the Superman comics. And I'm like, he is whole ass real. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening on her Earth. I don't understand what is happening. So there's that too. So yeah. To make matters, I have not seen many reactors reacting to this show. They probably don't know what to react to. That's probably what it is. I'm really not liking this Lana. Maybe the Smallville and me, the characters can't even compare. So I have learned to separate my Lanas in my mind because, to be clear, and I don't know why this is, the only Lana Lang that was kind of comic book accurate was in the 90s version of Superboy, the TV series, played by Stacey Hydeck. She had the red hair, blue eyes. She is a ginger, like Mary Jane. She has never been a ginger. Well, that's not true. Annette O'Toole, who played her in Superman 3, I believe, was also a redhead. So, and then went on to be Martha Kent. But those are the only times, those 2 times, that Lana Lang has ever been portrayed accurately. Every other version, Man of Steel, she had black hair. This version, she has black hair. Stacey Kruick had like reddish brown to black hair because she's Eurasian. I don't have a problem with that per se. The only problem I ever had, I think, was that one of the running jokes, if you followed Lois Lane in the Superman comics, is that she always called her sister Lucy slow because Lucy Lane has always been blonde. Not played blonde in anything. Not in the original Supergirl movie with Helen Slater, was it? I think it was Helen Slater. We've seen her throughout lots of DC. She was Supergirl's mother in Arrowverse, and she was Clark's mother in Smallville. She played Laura, but like literally legit, for some effing reason, Lucy Lane never is blonde. So in the Supergirl movie, when we had Lucy Lane's character be her roommate, Linda Lee's roommate, curly, dark black hair. And every version of Lucy, she either has dark brown hair or black hair, but in the comics, she's always been blonde. And so when Zack Snyder made Man of Steel and cast Amy Adams, let her keep her strawberry blonde hair, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, there's no universe where Lois Lane has blonde hair. So I'm used to this now. I'm used to all of this. I'm used to the character types. I'm used to people, I'm used to Lana being a hybrid between Lana and Lois when that's not how she was in the comics. I'm used to all of it. I mean, I don't know why. Because to be fair, the Lana Lang in Smallville is not the Lana Lang in the comics either. So, yeah, I guess you got to pick your poisons. Part of me will always believe that the Black Lightning season 3 finale could have worked as a makeshift series finale for the show. I absolutely 1,000,000,000% agree with that. But honestly, I think there was some drama that made that show end. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why Jennifer's actress left. I know why she said she left, but I kind of feel like there's something else going on with that. So they could have actually ended the show because of drama, like just something happened on the show. The TV show, Naomi, this boring the crap out of me. Speed it up. What are you doing? Never going to get anywhere in the storyline. It feels that way. It really does. Lafayette, you just made Jonathan's life sound so horrible. He gets a pass on the drugs. No, he doesn't. I don't ever give people passes. I don't give you passes on drugs, infidelity, or any of that shit. But I'm not going to downplay that you go through shit either. I'm just not going to do that. Because I wouldn't know how I would react if my twin had all these powers and I got to sit here and play with my Switch all day because everyone thinks I'm not special. And they don't have the common decency to not say it to my face. I'm like, my own damn grandfather is literally picking sides. So, yeah, it's bullshit. It is bullshit. I was bored out of my mind. Yep. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty slow. Maybe Sarah went back to her vigilante life. I hope so. I don't know what Sarah could do. I mean, what is she qualified to do? Because when she got on that boat in Arrow season 1, she was still a college student, wasn't she? And then when they got shipwrecked and then all this stuff happened and was assumed dead and was League of Assassins and all that. But so, I don't really know. Like I said, Sarah is an invention of the Arrowverse. who I think should be brought on, because the White Canary of DC is not Sarah. Sarah does not exist in the comics. She may have been introduced now, because they did the same thing with Felicity, and Felicity was just a tiny little Batman character married to some guy who had like maybe 3 or 4 lines in an arc. And Felicity Smoke ended up being a lot bigger. So like, and that's something else they do in the Arrowverse. They take these one-liner obscure characters and make them huge. And it's really weird and integral to plots that don't exist. So seeing Sarah go back to her vigilante life, I mean, what city? And she has a daughter now, and I don't know if Ava will go for that. And then what's Ava going to do? Ava does not seem like the stay-at-home mom type either. So I don't know. It's weird. The Legends features were too good to be true. True. Absolutely true. I felt this episode that Zari was sad this whole episode. Yeah, she basically has evolved a lot. She's not self-absorbed as much. She's basically becoming a better person, and now they're taking it away and then telling her that she's only going to be known for being a self-absorbed person, basically. That's a lot. That is a lot. Sarah and Ava have a future daughter. Yes, they do. Sarah and Ava's future is my favorite. I like the reaction. We have a daughter? Like, that was really cool. I like Ava. Well, it's not set in stone. I mean, we could have a boy. Like, that's funny. AI Gideon wants human Gideon to be just like her, and it's working. Did anyone else know that Arthur aired its final episode recently? I actually grew up on that show. I did not know that. Eva Gideon gave him the boot, literally. Yep. She's like, bye, Gary. But she doesn't realize the resilience of Gary. Gary's been almost assassinated, killed, and dropped off, left how many times? I mean, he's fine. Needed season 8 with Sarah and Ava's daughter in some episodes. It would be so cute. I agree. But the moment they do introduce a daughter, I think that's when they start counting down to the end of the series, because they probably won't want to go through, space and time with their kid. I don't think this is the end of the Legends yet. Maybe one more season with a possible 9th. That would be cool. Or like Sarah and Ava's daughter time travels to the present. They actually meet their future daughter. That would be cool. Their daughter is a grown-up. That would be really cool. I was hoping this show would be more like the adventures of the Pierce sisters kind of energy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Naomi. I don't. Like I said, it's not bad. It's just not good. Like, it's in between. It's on the border between potentially could be really great to could drastically dip because of the writing to being absolute Batwoman level. Okay, girl, on to the Batwoman. Angry grandma or angsty grandma? No, she was angry. Batwoman is just, I don't know, mess and a half. That's generous. I'm like, that's generous. I give him 12 cups of poop. If there could be only one POCU show, then this show gets the chop and bring the Painkiller show with the Pierce sisters as supporting characters. Oh, I would have loved if they had kept. Why didn't they greenlight Painkiller? That's what they should have. They should have canceled Batwoman and greenlit Painkiller. That would have been a cool show. It was so cool. The little exposure that show was really cool. It's just dumb. The only part I enjoyed most was Mary was legit fangirling over the relationship. I mean, I'm not into their relationship, so I was like, whatever. I mean, her reactions are cute, but I mean, they really made me not like Mary in that episode, and that's kind of messed up. Why is Alice even still here? Why are any of them here? I mean, why? Like, legitly, guys, I always laugh when I see Batwoman because I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm only 5'5". And I think Javicia Leslie is 5'4". So she's an inch shorter than me. And I know how I would look trying to beat up 6 to 7 feet guys. And they always make her look shorter on camera. They don't even put the pallets underneath her to make her lift up a little bit. And it is funny as hell. I'm sorry, it is funny. And her fighting skills that have all of a sudden gotten a tiny bit more, advanced, they make zero sense because when did she get them? Who did she train with? Alice should be able to whoop the shit out of her because she was trained by Ocean. And I don't understand why Batwoman's able to continuously take out these people that Batman had problems apprehending when she couldn't even beat Kane's ass without Alice helping her fight. Like, it doesn't make any effing sense to me. I am tired of suspending my disbelief because I am a disbeliever. It is bullshit. Legends of Tomorrow deserves a season 8. I agree. I thought she was a linguist in the TV show. I don't know. I can't tell anymore because she makes smoothies. She talked about art a lot. They met when she was an art student in the flashback. Remember when they talked about them getting together, the parents getting married and all that? And then she does this. So I have no idea I think she's all over the place right now. They need to establish the parents. That's what they need to do. They can't just be stupid. And that's what they're doing, and it's making me upset. So Naomi's mom. Yeah, I got what you were talking about. You can take the street rat out of the streets, but you can't take the street out of the rat. Ryan's just the worst Batwoman. And Sophie needs to be redeemed, refurbished, redone, and renewed. Sophie should have been Batwoman. Hands down. And I actually say that in my how I would have fixed Batwoman after Ruby Rose left video. My storyline, and I have 2 different options. Hell of a lot better than the shit they came up with. And they had a team of writers on this, guys. They had an effing team of writers. And the best they could come up with was a girl living in a damn van with a plant. I mean, I do not understand. Woo! Raise your hand to the cosmos. Dumb as hell. Just dumb. Even when Mary found out Alice took the fall, she didn't try to correct the mistake. Nope. Writing. Ryan and Mary are pretty horrible in this episode, especially towards Alice. Ryan is always horrible towards Alice. I see why Ryan is the way she is. All right. Or should I say how Alice is about them? I don't condone murder. I don't condone what she does, but she needs serious fucking help, and nobody's helping her at all. It's so messed up. The one time she was getting therapy, the psychologist was just torturing them for money. So, yeah. And the other therapist was brainwashing her. So, yeah, it's all messed up. When a show makes the villains the most sympathetic character and the heroes the villains, you have a problem and a whole new type of show. This is like Wicked, but I love that musical. I love Wicked. If this was Wicked, it would be different. And that character was actually good and made to be bad. And then if you read the book, it's actually a lot better. Alice is the sacrificial lamb and black sheep rolled into one. Yep. That's true. Legends of Tomorrow, one of my favorite TV shows on the CW. It is campy. I like it. Here are the Hawk people so massive and powerful how are they as a society? I mean, all the alien races we have seen throughout our Arrowverse in DC, and a group of people with wings and metal weapons. Dexamite, Dexamite for sure. Because they are hardcore. There was some issue I read that explained when the youths were 5 or 6, they were literally taken from their parents, and all they did was train. When I say train, it's kind of like Aang or Legend of Korra, White Lotus crap, or you just live and breathe being a warrior, and that is it. You have no life. You have nothing outside of that. So, I mean, they're just badass. That's all you know how to do. Fan fiction, soap opera, superhero show equals Batwoman. Yep. Batwoman is sadly a mess. I just can't with the show. I'm telling you, I can't. I cannot. I just cannot do it anymore. Unpopular opinion, I am a fan of DCEU Superman currently. Wait. Henry Cavill? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with him. My problem is continuity in DCEU. Connect your shit. I had a problem with Wonder Woman 1984. I had some problems with the Justice League movie. So I'll find little nuggets of stuff that's what the hell just happened? But yeah, I don't have a problem with Henry Cavill. I don't think he is Henry Cavill. Or he is Superman anymore, because I have no idea what's going on with Superman. Which is better, the Birds of Prey show or Batwoman Birds of Prey? I know it's dated. I know it's old. Birds of Prey. I have all of it on DVD. Because they don't have it on Blu-ray. If they do, I haven't found it. A cryptocurrency. Is that how they get their money? Cryptocurrency? I mean, monopoly money. I swear the writers read fanfics from the fans, literally from Batwoman, and took the best or worst fix and gave you this. That's what's happening. I'm telling you. I'm like, how can I make a shitty show set in Gotham? Let's do this. The problem is, and I have to disclaimer this every time I talk about Batwoman because I lose subs. I do. It's why you guys have not gotten a 2K video from me, because at the start of this video, the very start of this video, I had 2006 subs. And right now I am sitting at 2005. So I've already lost one from this video. And whenever I talk about Batwoman, people get in their feelings. And I've had people message me especially on Instagram, where they tell me that I get called racist. And I don't think I don't think they understand I'm part Black. I know I don't look it, but I don't think they get it. This is not me hating on Black culture. I'm not hating on a Black-led character. If anything, if they had took 5 seconds out of their lives, because I reviewed Batwoman season 1, I was a big supporter of them bringing in Ron Wilder. In theory, I had no idea what they were bringing her in to do, because had I known that this was the train wreck we were on, then I would not have been. But you see, people don't do that. They don't do their research on you. They just look at what you say when you're being real, because I'm always going to be real on this channel. And they translate that as to, I don't like the fact that they have a Black Batwoman. And that has been said to me. That has been said to me multiple times, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever to me. So it has nothing to do with that. What gets me is that, yeah, I'm mixed. And I say I'm mixed. But again, I've always said I love my Blackness just like I love every other part of me. So I am always pro a Black actor or a Black actress getting a role, kicking ass at that role, getting good writing, getting good stories, and becoming, especially, which is hard to do when you're a made-up character that is not in the comics, becoming something that is canon. Becoming something that people can say, hey, that shit kicks ass. That needs to translate to DCU. That kicks ass. That needs to be in the comics. That is my problem with this effing show. It takes a shit on the fact that this woman's supposed to be a representation of all the little Black girls who want to go out there and dress up like their favorite superhero, when she really, to me, is not worthy of it, because they write her like shit. They take a shit on LGBTQ because everybody has to fuck each other on this show if you're gay. I mean, if you're gay, it's automatically going down. I don't care what it is. You into the, oh, okay, let's go. Literally, it's round robin in this show. I don't understand that. It takes a dump on mental health. So if you have any type of trauma or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're either going to get the fuck over it, or you're going to be treated like shit like they do with Alice. So, I mean, there's nothing redeemable about this damn show. There's not. And so that is my problem. I'm insulted that they didn't go through, or basically they did not say and do and follow through what they said they were going to do. Give us the first Black Batwoman that is powerful, fucking believable, not living in a damn van with a fucking plant, not acting like she owns shit and is entitled, but she's been there like a minute and a fucking half and doesn't know how to use half the shit she even has. I don't need to know about your female drama. I don't need to know about shit. And this is coming from a queer woman. So like, this is stupid. You basically gave us as the Ryan turns. That is my fucking problem. And people just want to turn around and make this in me being racist, which is so fucking stupid. So that's another reason why, when I decided not to do Batwoman, it didn't bother me, because then I guess, honestly, it probably won't stop. But the feedback may ease up, because I'm getting tired of telling people about themselves, because I don't like confrontation when I don't have to be in it. But if you call me out as being racist, I'm gonna say something to your ass. I'm just gonna say it, especially when you're stupid. So I, in my feelings, Batwoman is a horribly written fucking show. This is not a slap at Javisa Leslie. I don't know her from Adam. I don't care. I mean, I don't need to know her. I mean, she's pretty. She's probably a very talented actress. I've never seen her in anything else. I know somebody said she was in a God Friended Me show. I never saw that show. I just know that she was on it, and what's her face? Jesse Quick's actress was on it. I can't remember her real name, but they were both on that show. I've never watched it though. So, I mean, it probably was good. I've just never watched it. So good for her. She's probably been on other stuff, and that's great for her. But on this show, I'm sorry, the show is shit. Ryan is a shit character. They write this shit, and it's like they take a shit and then they write on it. It's just bullshit. So that is my rant for that. Can't stand it. Cannot stand it. He will make a great Captain Britain. Who will? I can't even blame fan fiction for this. I've read some really good fanfics, actually. But there have been some shit ones. Is it weird that Marcus never figured out that he was on top of the Batcave this entire time? Yeah, especially since he knew his sister was Batwoman. Did he take Wayne Manor? When he took over, did he get Wayne Manor? Maybe he just thought, I don't know. As a PSC rhymed wig offends me. Do better, sis. I do better. This is worse than the name leaks cup of ramen wig from the bull. It does. You can see the lining, right? I thought it was just me. I was talking to Core Live Jam about this. I'm like, something is wrong with it. I don't have a problem with the style. The color is weird though, because I feel like if you're gonna do the red, pick it. I feel like sometimes it's too black at the top and then red at the bottom. Maybe she just has multiple ones. I don't know. Maybe she has multiple wigs. But the curl pattern's fine. I'm never gonna have a problem. I'm a curly girl naturally. I love all curl patterns. It's fine. I don't have an issue with that. My issue is that you can see the line on it. Like the line is like, it's like they sewed it into the cow. I don't know. It's just really weird. It's poorly done. Mercenary, who in the world expects there to be an entire facility under their house? Who shouldn't though? No. Think about it. If you knew she was Batwoman, though, you have to try and figure out where she would go to change her suit. I don't know why he ever asked that question, but to be fair, they don't ask questions. Season 1 was an issue. Of course it was. Batwoman season 1 was absolutely. Ruby Rose has the acting range of a block of wood. Like she has like one expression. It's kind of like how D, if you watch Naomi, D is great. He's very charismatic, but his face only changes like to one. It's either a smirk or a serious face. There's nothing else. That's exactly what her face was like. Her face never changed. Even when she was crying, it never changed. Like it just was just wooden. So yeah, it was problematic as hell. Marcus is so fine. Back to therapy. I gotta laugh at bad choices. Right. I can't watch season 1. Ruby Rose is an awful actress. She's definitely wooden. I can't even call her awful because I don't know what she's doing at the time. Mercer, I like the original Birds of Prey show. Rachel Skarsten played a young Black Canary. Yeah, she played Black Canary's daughter, actually. She didn't play. She was the daughter of Black Canary, and Black Canary was played by Lori. I can't remember her last name. She's from Full House. Uncle Jesse's wife. The one that paid in real life to have her kids get into college, and I don't know if she went to jail or not. I stopped following. This seemed like a series finale, to be honest. With Legends, yes. Absolutely. The constant high praise of the show always confuses me. The show overall is okay. Which show? Dinah and Helena the most? Wait. You saying you like them the most? Yes, Dinah and Helena and the Oracle. Yeah, I love who they got to play Oracle. Her Barbara was great. Only problem, Harley Quinn lost her batshit crazy, which is her signature, and was more just sociopath. They could have made her Hugo Strange's daughter and said, I do agree with that. And she was played by Mia, I can't remember, was it Mia Farrow? No. Who did her? It'll come back to me. I'll stick with the Gotham in the animated universe. I think Batgirl on HBO Max might be pretty good. I'm waiting for that. I will stick for Gotham in the upcoming Batman movie. Yes, the Batman looks good. So I am excited to see that. Apparently it's okay to cheat in the Arrowverse. Yep. Not just the Arrowverse. Even Charmed. Look at Charmed. We were just talking about that. They cheat all the damn time. I mean, hell, half of the relationships they got were cheating. So, I mean, cheating. A future episode of Superman and Lois is called Bizarro in a Bizarro World. Why wouldn't it be? I don't even waste my time to watch this TV show Batwoman. You shouldn't. It's not worth it. The Arrowverse started with Arrow and Oliver Queen, the original cheater. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Lost Girl was an awesome series, but the final season went way off the rails. Yeah, I think they had a lot of problems too, trying to get some of the cast people to stay. I love Lost Girl. That was a great show. Sarah Daddy gonna be sleeping on going to be sleeping on the couch. No, he's not gonna be on the couch. He's gonna be outside in the cornfield. He'll be sleeping in the Ken's barn. Now this episode of Batwoman had me in my feelings, gaslighting to the max. I feel like they're gonna make Alice Red Alice with their shenanigans. They are awful. Yeah, they don't take accountability when they do shit. It's like, oh, we understand you. It wasn't you. You were just somebody else. But it was like, but Alice, like really horrible. I don't know. Highlander was a fun show because there could be only one MF. It's funny because my family's last name in Scotland and my mother's maiden name is McGregor. So get it, Dick McGregor. And then I don't know, I just really love that show. And I think McLeod was the clan. There's McGregors and McLeods, and I forgot the other ones. Scottish people. Sarah being a greeter at Walmart or Sarah being a cashier at Publix. I think she should work at GameStop. That would be hilarious. I just can't see Sarah trying to live a normal life. I can't either. If she was in Walmart, she'd kill everybody. Like, she'd literally take everybody out. Maybe Sarah will go back to work at sinks, showers, and stuff. No, that was effing hilarious. Ava, I could see being part of a security agency for the government like FBI would be perfect, or NSA, but her wife probably on a lot of those. I think what will end up happening is, to be fair with you, Cisco would hire her to work at the DOA, or she would start working with, or she could really work with any of them, like any of the agencies. She could go work. If they moved to National City, she obviously would be working with Alex and them. If she moved to Metropolis, actually, she could do a lot of stuff in Metropolis because they have a lot of different agencies in Metropolis. Specifically, she could work a lot with Argus and actually get more involved with Lila, because her husband, who didn't want to be Green Arrow, they want to be Green Lantern because it would take away from his family, does nothing but travel that takes him away from his family. Good job, Diggle. Like, sorry, I just had to do it. I had to do it. Amanda Waller would celebrate to get her hands on a Sarah without protection from the League and Time Travel Task Force and the Peacemaker. Here she go. I would love Sarah Lance and Ava to be in Peacemaker season 2. I'll pay somebody. That would be amazing. I would love it. How did Luke not see any of this? This team is horribly incompatible. Not even on Justice League Unlimited, the reserve leaguers could tell something was up. And Batman, thank you, because Luke is stupid. I don't know. They character assassinated Luke and Mary now. Technically Sophie, if you really think about it. They take a shit on Alice, and Ryan's not even a character. So she was Black Kate Kane for the longest, and now I don't know what the hell she is. John Stewart could catch it, not Clark. He is too green, like Lois and Clark. Rendition Clark thought Jonathan was playing Twister with his girlfriend upstairs. Lois was like, I mean, you're not wrong. Seems that the storyline for Alice would be coming to an end. What more could be done? Alice is a strong character, if not the best character of Batwoman. I know. I don't know what they're going to do with her. It's because they didn't think it through. It's what happens when Gray Berlanti goes to the showrunner, who's actually going to recast Kate Kane, and says, hey, let's just make a whole other universe and click it clash into the Gotham universe, and then get some writers that don't know what the fuck they're writing about. Yay! Like, so weak. I just feel weak, guys. I have Birds of Prey on DVD. Yep, I got the whole series on DVD too. Birds of Prey, way better. The show I watch on CWC. It is a great. I really wish they got more. It's so short, but I wish they did more. Wait, people think you're anti-Black? That's insanity. Yep. I think they're in their feelings because I do a lot of like mixed content videos too. And I guess because I say that I don't have a problem with being mixed, it means I'm anti my Black side, which doesn't make sense, because by me saying I'm proud to be mixed, I could be saying I'm anti my Scottish side. I'm really mad about being part Indigenous because my grandfather's full Native American or Indigenous. They instantly think that I'm anti-Black. I do not understand that because I'm actually multiracial. So they have many to pick from. But, you know, for some reason, if I say anything on my channel about any characters that are Black, and I say something negative, I am instantly effing racist. I do not understand that at all, because my other fellow YouTubers that I'm friends with that are black, that say the same shit I'm saying, they don't say shit to. And so, and it's not just coming from black people. Let's put it out there. It's not just the black side. I don't get it. But I'm in my 40s. And generally speaking, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm tired of trying to understand cray cray. I'm just tired. Yes, BOP is on CWC, as well as Lost Girl and Krypton. I thought Krypton got moved. I thought Krypton was on something else, another station too, another streamer one. I have to actually go and figure that out, because I didn't get to finish it. So I mean, I love that show, but I didn't get to finish it. I think something happened and our cable wasn't like I think it was on Sci-Fi, if I'm remembering correctly, and it didn't play correctly, because I remember me having the same problem with Winona Earp. I would try and watch it and it wouldn't, like, for some reason we didn't get the accurate stuff that was airing. We were just getting like those B-rated like movies where like the animals and the beasts and stuff that attack, they're all CG, which is funny as hell. Like trying to think of some good ones. The two-headed shark movie, Attack of the Two-Headed Shark, Sharknado and stuff like that. We would get those, but we weren't getting we were not getting any like TV shows. It was really weird. So I don't know. I'm speaking it, man. Speaking it. Batwoman is not a good show. It is not. It's not. If Dee's girl doesn't show herself this season, will she show up next season? I don't know. We have to go by the pacing of this show. It may be season 4. They may talk about her now and be like, 3 seasons from now, if we get 3 seasons from now, we will finally reveal what happened. Like, Ruby Rose is like Bella from Twilight. You're absolutely right. Except for I think that actress can actually act in real life. I think she was doing that because she was directed to look like she was high all the time and blinking. The constant praise on Batwoman. I mean, with my previous comment. Oh, yeah, I see people doing like tons of reviews. And they're like praising this show. And they're like, finally, Batwoman is great. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. People, as whole ass people of color, we do not have to accept garbage because we need more representation. I'm like, please understand this. We are worth so much more than this shit. Like, literally, it's stupid. The constant press on Batwoman, I mean, with my previous comment, it's just, I'm telling you that just resonates with me because I see it all the time. I see people like, if I go online, like on home, a recommended video, because I do, like, I put Batwoman in my videos, will pull up all these other reviews. And I'm like, you gotta be effing kidding me. I don't watch them because I don't want to be in my feelings. Speaking of comics, how about considering J.J. Abrams and his son's comic for Trash Comics, the Spider-Man run? I've only read the first 3 issues. That's the one where Mary Jane gets like impaled and Peter loses his arm. He has like a Captain Hook arm, right? And then he's like a hands-off helicopter parent, and his son is basically raised by Aunt May, and then he gets a little girlfriend. I think she's Asian. I can't remember her name, but she's like eccentric as hell. I think that's the one you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've only read like the first. I might have even done 2 episode reviews on those a while ago, but I think I fell off of it. I need to see how they finished it though. Matt Reeves was the right person to do a Batman movie because he's very passionate about it. Both him and Robert are respecting the source material by doing their own spin to the characters. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Like I said, I'm never going to be that person that's like, you have to write this just like the comic every effing time, because honestly, there are storylines in the comics that are problematic. So I understand if you want to revamp some stuff. Now, MCU lately has been taking it to a whole other level by reinventing people's entire bios and backstories, like Hawkeye. The whole situation was completely, both Clint and Kate Bishop, none of that shit was their bios. So not a bad show, but it's just not the comic book versions, because their lives are completely different in the comics than they are in that TV show. So yeah, I'm used to that. But yeah, I think it's whenever you get somebody who's just really passionate about it, I always get like really excited because I know it actually might come out, pretty good or fairly good. That's why I love Tobey Maguire. The first 2 Spider-Man movies I absolutely loved. I love Spider-Man 1 and I love Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. 3 scared the hell out of me. But the first 2 Really, really got in the first two. I'm hoping since Toby's now back in the MCU, we may get some continuation on what exactly is going on with his universe. Is Aunt May still alive? He said him and MJ were complicated. What does that mean? So I want to know more about that. And I also would love Andrew Garfield to continue his run so we get to see what's going on with him. I am a big champion for having all of the Spider-Verse done with their own movies. I don't just need to have Tom Holland Spider-Man. I can have Andrew Garfield Spider-Man back. I can have Tobey Maguire's in their own, standalone movies to update us on what's going on in their lives. I think that would be really cool. That's just me though. Do they cheat on Legends of Tomorrow? Well, Sarah has cheated on let's see. She cheated with Oliver basically when he was with her sister. So, I mean, you can't get more effed up than that. She would not have been on that boat had she not been cheating with Oliver. So that's the beginning of her cheating. But yeah, she was sleeping around. She wasn't asking questions. I'm like, now she doesn't cheat on Ava, if that's what you're asking. I think I am baffled because I know you have always been proud of your heritage. I'm telling you, people are just crazy. Every single part of what makes a person should not be denied. We live in a society where people don't like it. It's just what it is. It's if you go to my Mixed by Genetics channel that I just started, I have 3 videos up with Victoria Rain right now, and we talk in depth about this stuff. There is a YouTuber that just came out. Her name, or not came out, but she just made a new video. I've reacted to one of her videos before. Her name, I think, is Flower Tower, where she literally makes fun of mixed people like me by saying that we're entitled. And then she made a video where somebody told her because she, is basically a descendant of slaves that she's considered biracial, which is not true. And so she made a video about it, and she pretended to be biracial, and she made some of the most racist fucking comments and stereotypes, and basically like, I think I'm better than everyone else because my skin is lighter, not understanding that somebody with my exact mix could come out 5 shades darker than me, 10 shades darker than me, or 5 to 10 shades whiter than me and be white passing. We come out in all flavors, shades, and whatever designs. And she has made it a mission to make biracial or mixed people feel like shit. And it's sad. And the biracial Becky thing, we did a video about that too. That is the new term. You know how when you have entitled white women that call the cops on specifically Black people, they're known as Karens. Well, we have the honor of being, the evolution of Karens. Biracials are now called biracial Beckys. So I deal with a lot of shit, but I have to just be me and let it fly in this one and out, and then realize that, like I said, everybody has an asshole. Use yours wisely. It's what it is. Mary is the worst for me now after everything she has done and experienced to be even worse version of herself. Please give Ivy Mary back. She was a major improvement. I absolutely agree with that. I loved Mary's character. It's so sad. Krypton, 2 seasons are on CWC. I'm going to have to check that out because I've seen the first season. I have not seen season 2. The problem is the holdovers from Kate Kane and Alice Mary should have went away on the way of Jacob and exited the new characters' attachments to the current lead. Yeah, like I said, she should have had no attachment or anything to any of them. There should have been no connection whatsoever. Like, these writers don't know what they're doing. Aaron Pierre, who plays Dev M on Krypton, has been cast for a major role in the MCU Blade. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to check out all of my news spots. I've been so busy, guys. I hope that this transition is handled better on Charm like the WB handled with Paige. Could be. Depends on... We need to see who this girl is. I have high hopes. We have a new showrunner, new writing cast, or new writers for the cast. Fingers crossed, but it's very interesting that Mel's description is she's doing a lot of flings, because I thought she was in a committed relationship with her U-Haul girlfriend Ruby. So I'm very concerned that that's just not a thing anymore. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's it. It was 5 issues. The JJ okay. Yeah, I saw the first 2 or 3, I believe. So yeah, I can finish that off and see what we can do with Trash Comics. That's not a problem. I would ask you this funny question. Do they cheat on Legends of Tomorrow? Sarah has cheated, but not while on Legends. I don't recall anybody specifically on Legends being involved to the point of cheating on each other, but I'll have to go back and look at that. I'm not sure. But there, I will say that Sarah has been a cheater. You totally skipped over my comment about Supergirl. Oh, did I? Post it again. Like, post it right now. And then I will read it. Because I probably will not find it if I scroll up. Tom Holland is my least favorite Spider-Man. He's not my least. He's the immature one. So, he's the one that I see in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics run. So I have no problem with him. He really is close to that in my mind. The perfect Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire. Because Tobey Maguire has that my face tells you that I have no money. I can't pay my rent. Pity my ass because I am sad. Just because I can put on this suit does not mean that I am worth shit. That's literally how he looks. He looks like a puppy that has been constantly kicked. So that Peter Parker, legit to me, was the Peter Parker from the comics. Andrew Garfield is very charismatic. But he was like a skateboard version. Like, to me, he should have been the Peter Parker from the Spider-Verse, an alternate universe. I don't know. I probably would have cast him as a different Spider-Man altogether, not even Peter Parker. But I have no problem with him, and I literally still was invested in his story. And I would love to see how he, after this run, after being in No Way Home, how his life evolves. I really want to know how he evolves, I guess is a better way of saying that. So, yeah, it's a thing. Hasn't Dara bagged most Arrowverse? Dara? Who's Dara? Bagged most Arrowverse characters? You mean Sarah? I'm sorry. Let's see. She's up with Constantine, Arrow, Ava, Alex. Don't think she got with Flash or Diggle. Nissa. I'm trying to think of any other characters she had it on with. I might be missing one or two. So yeah, I think she does. She does wear the crown of being the one who has bagged the most Arrowverse characters. I liked face Cara made when Cat Grant told her that she knew she is Supergirl. I did too, especially since I thought she already knew that. I'm like, so I was like, wait, what? And Cat was like, I'm not stupid. I'm an investigative journalist. Your face and your hair are the same. Like, nobody should ever mistake you for not being Supergirl. I can't wait to get the Blu-ray of No Way Home just to see more footage of Toby, Andrew. Yeah, I cannot wait to see that either. I think it comes out in April, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Luke is the only one you could have linked to Ryan via the legacy of the Bat and his family, and it be fluid and work. Yeah, I mean, if that turned out to be her brother and Jada basically slept with Lucius Fox, which I don't think happened, then yeah, I could see that being a thing. But I don't think that's what it is. There's so many ways they could have brought this character in, but they dumb. Like, so they dumb. They just dumb. I'm like, I would have loved to have been in that development room. Okay, so we're going to get this person. We're going to make her a drug runner. No, that's not good. We'll make her a former drug runner. No, that's not good. We'll make her an accidental drug runner. And then we'll put her in a van with a plant. And that plant will be important later. How does she get the suit? She finds it while trying to save a homeless man on the beach. Isn't she homeless? No, because she has a van. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Like, there you go. That's literally it. Concept. I'm like, nope. And just like I said, guys, no. I feel so much happier now that I know that I only have one more review for Batwoman. You guys have no idea. You have no idea. I am so excited. But we are at the almost 2 hour mark. Let me answer this. Lila is running Argus right now, if I remember correctly. So she actually, I think she's the new Amanda Waller, to be honest with you. But she's around. She's with the 2 kids. They all, her and Diggle and the kids moved to Metropolis, so she's fine. But yeah, so we are at the 2-hour mark. That means that it is time for us to leave the stream. I know it's so sad. It's so sad. But be on the lookout. I've got videos. I've got them coming out. They are coming for you. They are coming very, very quickly. They actually are. Some very short ones are coming too. I have why you should be watching Space Force season 2. Also, you should be watching Bugo Soul, which is a Korean drama that is amazing that you need to be watching. It's kind of like a live action version of, well, actually, it's a live action version of a lot of any type of anime, like Demon Slayer, or any demon type show. It's kind of like a live action of that. So it's very, very, very cool. So I will have those videos coming up, hopefully posted by today or tomorrow. We'll see. And my Batwoman video will be coming up this week. So you'll be seeing that. It will be released. I'm trying to get released by a Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Charmed is coming, guys. So I'm getting ready to get in my Charmed mode, because Charmed is one we talk about a lot on this channel. Lots of theories. And now we have a whole other can of what the hell to talk about. Especially since if episode 1's description is anything to talk about, Jordan is still with powers, but I don't know if he's going to be a white lighter. I think one of the rumors is that he's not going to be a white lighter. It's going to trigger something magical he already has genetically. We'll see. We will see. I will review Euphoria when I start watching it. I just recently got HBO Max again, so I haven't had a chance to check it out. So it's not that I don't want to review Euphoria. I haven't even seen season 1. So there is that. So I will be on the lookout for that. Yeah. That's all I got, guys. So if it is evening for you, have a good evening. If it is day for you, have a good day. And I will see you guys in my next video and my next stream. Bye, guys.